Why are you not going to answer your phone when I call? You get to the house right now and make me some food. My stomach is completely empty right now, and it's making me hungry.
What?
I really want to have an omelet of some sort right now. And if it's not the kind with milk mixed in with the eggs to make them really airy and soft, I don't want them.
Sophia? You shouldn't be asking me that out of the blue right now. I'm in the middle of work at the moment.
And what are you saying that should mean to me? A pregnant woman like myself is asking to have an omelet to eat right now. So, as my sister-in-law, you should be coming back here to make that for me.
You can't be serious right now. How about you make an omelet yourself? And if that's too much work for you, order delivery?
Are you an idiot or something, Ellen? There's no way someone having to suffer through being pregnant right now should have to cook for herself. Just having to stand there in the kitchen makes me want to vomit.
Wait, are you really feeling that motion sick when you stand up?
And asking me to order delivery is even more crazy of you. I am about to have a kid really soon and have been working so hard to save up money for them. Asking me to pay for delivery now would be a waste of all that money. Is something like that really so hard for an infertile woman like you to understand?
Excuse me?
I don't care that you can't make a baby with your defective body. You're still a woman, right? Yet you still don't seem to get what I'm having to go through over here. I guess that means being infertile also affects the woman's head.
Hey, Sophia, me being infertile has nothing to do with what we were just talking about.
Anyways, just hurry up and make me something to eat, please. This baby inside my belly is saying that they want to eat right now.
If you want something to eat, then ask my little brother to make you something. I can't leave my job to go home and cook for someone else's wife right now. So if you're looking for someone to listen to and do as you've asked, go speak with your husband about this, please.
Well, my husband happens to be even more busy than you right now, and that's why I've had no other choice but to rely on you with this. Did I really have to bring something like that up with you just then for you to understand me?
Huh?
Right now, Dave is working his butt off in order to make sure my baby and I are able to stay happy. He told me that if we're going to be having a child, we need to have more money saved up. And in order to make more money, in order to do so, he's focusing only on his work so that he can be promoted soon. And that's why starting today, he's going to be traveling around the country on a business trip for the company.
I was wondering why it had been so hard for me to get in touch with him these past few days. It's all because he's working that hard at his job right now?
And because of that, he cannot be home to take care of me anymore. Which is why I'm asking you to come home now and do as I've said, please. It's your job as the older sister to support your younger brother, right?
If it's something that I can feasibly do, then I'll help support you guys. But I happen to have a job of my own right now, which means that during certain times of the day and week, I cannot come home to take care of you.
Huh? There's no way someone like you isn't listening to what a pregnant woman is asking from you. In a world where we need more people, having to be pregnant is seen as a very admirable thing, which is the reason why you need to be nicer to those that are like me. If you're not even able to do that, does it mean there's something completely wrong with your head?
Excuse me?
Normally, if you were to get a message from me asking for help, you'd be right on it without hesitation. But seeing that you don't seem to care about me is screwed up. So this must mean that it's not just your body which is defective, but your head as well, right? And that's why you can't make any kids.
You go ahead and cut that attitude out right now. You are in no place to be saying those horrible things about me. It's not like I asked to be born with a body that wouldn't allow me to carry and give birth to any babies. So while you're sitting there with such a privilege, you cannot say things like that to me.
You're the one saying all the horrible things, though. Now just shut up already and come home to make me that omelet. An infertile bitch like you is only good for one thing, and that's listening to and doing what a pregnant woman like me asks.
I'm sorry, Ellen. I just heard the voicemail you'd left for me. It seems that Sophia was being really selfish around you again, asking for things like that.
In the end, I went ahead and asked for a local breakfast joint near the house to deliver her an omelet. And using the money I made sure that it was paid for in advance so that she didn't have to give the driver anything.
Tell me how much all of that was later, and I'll pay you back for it. I promise that I'll even throw in an extra 25% for the trouble.
I'm going to make sure to get that money from you then. And 35% this time, Dave. Now get real with me here, Dave. Is there nothing you can do about that attitude of hers? This wasn't the first time she behaved so selfishly with me. Ever since she first announced that she was pregnant, her behavior has become worse and worse.
Is that right? I never even noticed that. I'm sorry.
That's not something you need to apologize for, though, Dave. I just want you to do something about her attitude.
I think it's happening because of her hormones all being out of whack due to the pregnancy, and the doctor did tell me that things like this would happen with her up to the point she has the baby. Also, I've become really busy with my job and all that recently. I don't have the time to care for her 24/7, and I think that's only making her more upset.
Now that you mention work, she went and quit her job because she became pregnant, right? She says that things like her motion sickness is very bad right now. I guess having to be locked up in the house all the time, not being able to get up and go anywhere, would make me upset as well.
And the house is pretty small, right? She's also been telling me about how the construction down the road has really been loud and bothering her.
I see. If that's what's been causing her to act out, then I have an idea. How about you and her come move out to my place for a while?
What? You want us moving into your house?
Actually, I was told by my boss that I'm going to have to change jobs here soon. And after having spoken with my husband about it, we decided we want to sell the house and move to a new location. He already spoke with his boss about it, and his boss said that he may start to work remotely from now on.
But isn't your guys' place a condo up in one of those high-rises near the bus station? You're gonna let us come and move into there?
It's bigger than your place, and has a lot more to look at out the windows, and is a great place for someone to spend the day there all by themselves. And since it's still our place, I'm sure we can make a deal to have you rent it from us for a cheaper price. Then you won't have to worry too much about your savings disappearing. I hear that you're trying your very best right now to have a ton of money saved up for the baby, right?
Are you sure you'd be fine with us having a dream like that come true?
I don't care to do this for someone I don't really know, but when it's my brother, I'd be more than happy to. But could you make sure not to tell Sophia about how this is our condo?
Wait, why would I do that? After all the things she's said to you, why wouldn't you tell her that the place is yours and that she should be thankful for it?
Well, right now she's still under a lot of stress from everything, right? I wouldn't want to ask for her to say thank you to me with all of that going on. I'm sure that something like that would only cause her to become more stressed and quite possibly burst. And if that happens, that can't be good for your guys' baby, right? So please, don't let her know anything about the house belonging to me, and that I'm lending it to you both.
I'm sorry, but that's such a stupid idea. If anything, she's just gonna become even more stressed anyway and continue to take it all out on you, Ellen.
But I can put up with all of that until she gives birth, and after that, she should begin to calm down, and then we can talk about how the place is mine. I think that's the best option we have right now with your wife, Dave.
All right then, if you say so, but I'm just saying I really don't like this idea. Someday, I'll make sure to make all of what you're doing for us up to you, by the way. Also, I'm gonna have a word with her about what she did this last time and make her apologize for it.
Sure, that would be nice. I'll get in touch with you again soon so we can talk in a bit more detail about my place. And as for Sophia, make sure to keep a closer eye on her as her husband plays. Hey, Sophia. What the heck is going on here? Why, when I came out to celebrate your new baby, did you not let me into the room?
Because I don't want a celebration coming from someone like you. It's not only been just a couple of weeks since giving birth, but my body is nowhere close to completely recovered yet. So I do not want some kind of disgusting and germ-covered woman like you coming into my house.
What? You just called me disgusting and covered in germs? Me?
Who else would I be talking about right now besides you? Go ahead and leave the present you bought for me at the door and I'll take it later. And later on I'll tell you what I think about it.
Why are you still treating me like that? I literally took the day off of work to come all the way out here to say hi to you and the baby.
I want to spoil the hell out of my baby, all right? And having to give birth to them was really tough for me. And so were the months of motion sickness before that. I had to go through all of that and ended up with this really cute baby that I'm going to spoil forever. I want to raise them to become an elite and would like them to be as healthy as they possibly can be. Which is exactly the reason why I can't have a germ-infested woman like you near them.
Huh?
All women should know this kind of happiness. Yet someone like you who can't have any babies will never know a thing about it. If I were to have to see a defective woman like you right now, I might become infertile just like you, and never have a chance of making a baby again. I would really like to have another one or 2 babies, all right?
Are you trying to say that you'd catch my infertility or something?
Not only me, but my cute little baby boy as well. If that were to happen to him, then I don't think I'd ever be able to forgive you.
I was born with the inability to carry a baby though, which means it can't be transmitted to another person like a virus.
Just shut up. Just shut up and leave my front door right now. I'm not going to let you hold my baby and not even let you close to them.
How can you be so rude to someone who brought you a gift to celebrate having your first baby? Considering that I can't have a baby myself, I was so happy to hear that I'd have my first nephew. And that's why I went out and bought them a bunch of really cute clothing. I was thinking about you as well, Sophia, and that's why I bought over a ton of really good foods for you and my little brother to have for dinner.
Huh? You're joking, right? You didn't just bring me some money as a present for having my son. I don't need baby clothes and food from you. You take all those things with you now and go away.
What?
I'm pretty sure that an infertile woman's choice in clothing isn't even good anyway. And I hate food that has to come from a sick woman's hands. Who knows what kind of germs could be on all that food right now?
What the hell are you talking about? You think I'd ever come over to your house all sick?
Sure. I'm sure there's a good reason for you to come over here trying to infect a woman and her baby with something when you're all upset that you couldn't have your own baby.
Would you stop screwing around already? I would never do something so petty and cruel.
Then could you please hurry it up and get away from my place? I do not need any of those crappy presents you bought for me today. And I will not let an infertile woman like you around my newborn son. You are so indecent that I don't ever want you coming near us like that again.
Then I want all of that filth out of my condo right now.
What?
If you're going to say all of that about me, then you get the hell out of my condo right now. If you really find me that germ-ridden and everything, then you shouldn't want to be staying in the den of such a monster. My house is a lot more dirty and disgusting than I am, right? So take your newborn and get lost right now.
Wait a second, Ellen. What are you even going on about right now? This place is Dave's and my condo. I had this baby and we made sure to move everything we owned into this nice condo.
Well, that condo you and him moved all your things into happens to be my condo. And the only reason you're living there right now is because I let my little brother rent the place from me. So, as the owner of that place, you get the hell out.
What did you say?
I wanted you guys to have a cheap place to live in and rent from me while you could distress. But you don't seem to be relaxing any, and are still calling me the same old insults. I don't want to be kind to you anymore either now, so this is the perfect thing for both of us. You don't want to live in the condo that I own, right?
What is this? What the hell happened here? I have no idea what you all were just talking about there.
It's not crazy that you're having trouble understanding all of this. After all, I told my brother not to tell you anything about how that condo is mine. Stupid of me to do now that I think about it, I know.
Huh?
But back when you were still pregnant, you were a total bitch to me, right? I assumed that was all due to your hormones being imbalanced, and wasn't the real you saying those things to me. So I had an idea for how to help relieve some of the stress you were having. I would allow you both to rent the condo from me in order for you to have a more open and comfortable place to live.
And that place is this condo?
It's all open with tons of natural light, right? I thought that being home all by yourself all the time would be a lot more fun at that condo than your old place. And for various reasons, it all worked out for my husband and I as well. And really, I just wanted to be kind to my brother and you. That was all, really.
No way. I thought this place came from Dave getting a promotion and a raise or something recently. He told me before that he'd become all busy with work in order to do that, and in order to make more money which we could save for our baby.
I hate to say this about Dave, but even with the money he's making right now, it's not enough to afford a place like that. Even renting it, you should be paying close to $7,000 a month.
That expensive?
But me being so kind and loving towards my brother, I wanted to give you guys a really nice place for almost 3/4 that price. A place where someone like Dave could afford to rent and enjoy life without being in debt. And that would allow him to save a whole lot more for your guys' baby, right? Well, too bad, because starting today, I'm no longer going to be kind anymore.
What?
Making fun of my infertility and then calling me a germ-covered woman? You wouldn't even let me celebrate your newborn baby because of those reasons. I'm done being a nice sister-in-law to someone who is going to continue treating me like that. I thought it was a good idea letting you guys rent that place from me, but now I'm going to be taking it back by force.
Taking it back? No way. I'm not going to leave such a fancy and expensive condo as this. It's not only really open and modern, but it's also got a lot of really nice furniture and is located right downtown near the hospital. And all of the schools around here have really good ratings. Being able to raise my baby in a place like this is the best thing for them. Making me leave this place right here and now is mean.
You're the total bitch here, though. After all those horrible things you said about me, which I can't even control because I was born with them, and then calling me filthy and disgusting and something you want to avoid forever, what the hell makes you think I want to let you stay in my condo anymore? Huh? I'm not playing around anymore. I know more about that condo than anyone else. Back when my husband and I still weren't aware that I was infertile, we went and bought the place. We put a lot of thought into where we wanted to raise our future kids, and that was the location we chose. That's why I thought for both of your sakes, I'd let you guys live there and raise your baby. But I'm sorry, Sophia. No matter how beautiful the home is and how wonderful all the amenities and schooling in the area is, you wouldn't want to live in the home of some infertile and germ-ridden monster, right? And just like you were wanting, you and I will never have to see one another again now. So please, get the hell out of my condo so that we can make sure that never happens. It's my condo after all, so get out. Now get to it and clean up all your junk before I come back.
I am so sorry. I heard everything from Sophia. She told me about how she wouldn't let you inside when you came to celebrate, and she even started to talk crap about the things you bought for her. I'm so terribly sorry, Ellen.
You weren't lying when you called me stupid a while back, were you?
Hey, I didn't mean it in a mean sense, but I told you that hiding the fact that the place is yours from her was a bad idea. But even knowing that, I'm still sorry for how she treated you. Seems this time she really didn't hold back with all the horrible insults either. As her husband, no, wait, as a human being, I can't believe what she said to you. She has no right saying those things about you. I'm in disbelief now, so much so that I don't know what to do about her.
I'm sorry that me being infertile led to your wife becoming such a bitch.
Stop that! You can't blame yourself for something like that. You came all the way over here to give us gifts because of how happy you were for our newborn baby, and yet... And even before that, you still went and lent us your place for a very cheap rent. All of that, and yet she still acted out. She didn't know about the condo being yours, but still.
Thank you for at least realizing that what she's done is unthinkable. I feel really bad for what I'm going to do, but I have to make sure that she pays for what she said to me. Do you mind if my husband and I cut ties to her?
Go right ahead, and I promise to make sure she never comes around you guys ever again.
Thank you, Dave. I'll make sure to go talk with Mom and Dad about how this is going to happen as well, so that they're not surprised by anything. Can't leave them thinking your wife is any good to my husband and I.
Good point. Then I'll go and make sure her parents are aware of what happened as well between you both. I want them to know that it's because of what their daughter said that things had to end up this way for us.
Thank you. I'm sure that at some point Mom and Dad and her parents will all want to meet and talk about this. And in order to clear everything up on both ends, let's make sure to explain the situation in the same way.
I'll make sure to send you a text of everything I plan to bring up to them, and you let me know if there's anything you want to add. And then I'll go talk with them right away. Anywho, I'm really sorry about this.
And I'm sorry I didn't listen to what you said about telling Sophia that it is my condo. Now I'm going to talk with Mom and Dad soon as well, so make sure to get that text to me soon.
Please help me, Ellen. I can't handle taking care of this baby anymore.
Huh? Why the hell are you contacting me about anything at all right now? And as for that being too much for you, then ask your husband to take care of the baby.
I already asked him a bunch of times, but he's even more busy now with work than he was before, and is no longer able to come home some nights to be around us. And by the way, before I say anything else about that, him and I barely talk anymore.
Then go ask your parents or something for help.
I've been trying to, but nobody wants to help me anymore. Ever since they learned about what I'd done and said to you, all of them want to stay away from me.
Really?
When they learned that you no longer wanted to be near me anymore, and that both your husband and you cut ties to me, my mom and dad got really upset with me, and they both told me that they wouldn't be helping me any with my son.
Well, well, well. They must be done with you if they're not even going to want to care about their grandbaby.
And also, it turns out that my mom was also infertile for a long time, and both her and my dad had to try really hard before they could finally have me. They both told me they no longer consider me their daughter, and that they want me to try being a parent on my own now if I feel like I'm good enough to make fun of others who are infertile. Ever since that last message, they haven't been responding to my calls or text anymore.
Well, I understand them being angry about that. Having to deal with infertility themselves for a long time, they can understand more than most how others must have felt. And when it came to them having worked so hard to make you, that kind of treatment takes a lot of money.
They went and took all the money the family gave to me as a gift for having a baby and sent it back. And now they're not even reading any of the text I send them.
Well, that sucks, doesn't it?
So at the very least, I'd like to have a friend that could help me, because I don't have anyone else to talk with about having a newborn baby and about how hard it is to raise them. I had friends, but then I did something wrong there too.
Like what?
Well, originally, I made a friend or two at the hospital with women who also had babies, and I was able to talk with them for a bit about my baby and the difficulties I'd been having. And I started to tell them about everything, and I mean everything when it comes to what happened. It turns out that both of those women also had to get treatments for their infertility in order to get pregnant.
Nice going, dumbass. So now you've really done it to yourself.
They both stopped talking to me and started to talk with everyone they knew about the kind of monster I am. And now nobody is willing to talk with me anymore. It's at the point now where I can't even live around here anymore. So please, Ellen, can you let us rent that room from you again? I want to fix everything I've messed up from the safety and comfort of that condo you lended us before. I will apologize to you for everything I said before and become close to you again. So please.
Nope.
What?
Not happening.
But
if it's so hard for you to understand how others feel and think, perhaps there is something seriously wrong with you. An illness, perhaps? I don't want to catch whatever it is you have right now, so stay away from me.
That's so mean. Are you trying to treat me as though I'm sick?
Yeah. You did the same thing to me before, so what's wrong with me doing it to you now? If you start to complain about what I'm doing now, that just makes you a hypocrite, and I really hate those kinds of people.
But I was.
Also, if I remember correctly, I cut ties to you. So you apologizing to me won't fix anything because I don't see you as a part of my life. There you go. Goodbye forever. Have fun raising that baby all by yourself now, and I hope you and my brother don't have a divorce soon. After that, Sophia went to both of her parents one last time and begged for them to please help her take care of her baby, and that she would pay for them to babysit, which somehow worked. But they asked that she give her every penny that she had in order for them to do such a thing. Not being able to make any friends, and losing all of her savings to both of her parents, Sophia went ahead and stopped being a housewife and went out to find some work again. Now, when it comes to my little brother Dave, he decided that he'd stop focusing on moving his way up in the company and instead choosing a position that would allow him to be around his baby more. Him and Sophia never really talk to one another anymore, but he's still making sure that he becomes a good father for his son and that he doesn't have to grow up with just Sophia and her parents alone.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.
Hey there. I hope I got the right number. Is this Stan's older sister? I wanted to introduce myself. My name's Kendra. I'm Stan's fiance. Oh, hi there, Kendra. I'm glad I finally got the chance to talk to you. Yeah, you've got the right number. My name's Stacy. If I recall correctly, you just dropped by my parents' house with your parents to introduce them, didn't you? I'm really sorry I missed that. I wanted to come and meet you and your family, but my company dropped a last-minute trip out of the state on me that I couldn't get out of. Oh yeah, your parents told me all about that. It was really great news. I get it. You're one of those people who like sarcastic jokes, huh? Sorry, that one went over my head. I wasn't joking. Is that a continuation of the joke, or... No, I'm not joking. I'm really glad you weren't there. It's for the best that we don't meet. So you don't need to feel bad about anything. Okay, this is probably the weirdest first conversation I have ever had with a person in my life. Would you mind explaining why you don't want to meet me? Oh, of course. I'm glad you asked. So I have some super deep-seated trauma with men, right? When I was in high school, I went on my first date ever with a boy, and the very next day, he was sitting with my best friend at lunch. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been traumatic for you. So he was never serious about you after all? No, he actually was serious. I found out later that he and my best friend were actually cousins, but I only found that out after I had already dumped him and sent him messages around the school saying he was a boring date and a bad kisser. That event was so traumatic for me that I can't bear to see my romantic partners being friendly with any other women, even family members. You spread false rumors about him over a misunderstanding, but you are the one with deep-seated trauma? Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm glad you understand. Right. Well, you know that me and Stan are brother and sister, right? Are you telling me that you don't even want me to have pleasant conversations with him? Stacy, I am so glad that you understand my trauma so well. I heard from your parents that you and Stan are really close. Is that right? Yeah. I presume that's a problem for you? Yep. A big problem. I can't bear to see Stan being friendlier with other women in his family than he is with me. Uh-huh. Again, Stacy, I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you understanding my trauma. So I actually had a request to make of you. I would really appreciate it if you could never see Stan again. And not just in person. You can't text him either. I wasn't too thrilled with compromising this much with him, but I decided to be the bigger person and allow him 10 texts per month with your mom. So if there's ever something you want to tell Stan, you can tell it to your mom and have her contact Stan for you. Oh, and if her 10 texts are already used up, you'll have to go through me. Granted, depending on the content, I may or may not deliver the message to him. You understand, right? Let me see if I have this straight. You want me to never contact my own brother directly? Ever again? Yep, that's right. If I found out you were contacting him, that would really trigger my deep-seated trauma. Right. Look, Kendra, as much as I want to start off our relationship on the right foot, I'm afraid that is not a request that I'll be able to abide by. I understand you have this trauma thing, and I'll do my best to be considerate of you, but restricting which of Stan's family members he can contact? I'm sorry, but that's utterly ridiculous. Stacy, how could you say that to me? I thought you understood my trauma. Are you really going to ignore the deep-seated trauma I have and contact your brother against my wishes? Do you want me to have a panic attack? What if my panic attack causes a heart attack? Are you trying to kill me? What the, kill you? I also have to say that I am very disappointed in the weakness of your sibling relationship with Stan. What? Me wanting the ability to talk to my own brother is a weakness to you? Obviously, if you truly had a strong familial bond, then you wouldn't need to have direct contact with him. Just knowing that he was well taken care of by a fantastic woman who loves him more than anyone else should be enough. But you're disregarding my trauma and threatening my life by meeting with your brother, all because of your own insecurities. You trashed a high school boy's reputation over your misconception, but I'm the one who's insecure? All I'm doing is laying down boundaries. You don't get to determine how and when I contact my own brother just because you're marrying him. Don't victim shame me. I'm the one setting boundaries to cope with my deep-seated trauma. Stop using that term. You use it every 5 frickin' seconds. I will not give you another warning, Stacy. I am his fiancé and I have deep-seated trauma. You will never meet in person with your brother ever again. And if you want to send him a message, then you must either go through me or your mother. That is final. Stan, we need to talk.
We do?
Yes, and it's about your fiancé. Are you sure you want to marry her? Like, really sure?
Well, I did propose to her. I thought that would make my intentions clear. Can I ask what brings this on? Did something happen between you two? You were really happy for me when I first told you I was getting married.
Yeah, I was, but that was before I actually interacted with her. Kendra just texted me a few minutes ago.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, and what she said was shocking, to say the least.
Well, what did she say?
She told me to never speak to you again. She told me this insane story about her deep-seated trauma, but it didn't make any sense. I mean, she expects me to believe that she was traumatized over an incident from high school in which she ruined a boy's reputation for no reason.
Oh, yeah, she told me about that a while back too.
So you knew? Stan, I understand that this is the woman that you proposed to, but I feel like I need to say this is your sister. She seems like she is genuinely unwell.
I'm really sorry that she said that to you. Also, thank you for your concern. It means a lot that you would trust me enough to be so direct like that. Now, in Kendra's defense, based on my experience with her, I don't think she's unwell. I think she just worries too much sometimes.
You sound like you're not too surprised that she would tell me never to speak to you again.
Well, I guess you can say she's done something like this before. Not to blow my own horn, but I've always had a lot of friends, right?
Yeah, ever since you were a kid, you always had a huge circle of friends. You've been bringing them around the house for years now, but I still don't even remember most of their names. Even after you went to college, any free time you weren't studying, you were spending with friends.
Right, that's something that doesn't really sit too well with Kendra.
She doesn't like that you have friends?
It's not that. It's just that she's kind of the opposite type of person. She'd rather just have a few super close people that she knows really well than have a bunch of friends like me. So she can't comprehend my relationship with my friends. You know what I mean? I can't remember how many times she's gotten mad at me for spending a Saturday with my friends instead of her.
Wow, that must have been difficult for you.
Actually, that's the main reason I decided to marry her. Once she's my wife, I'm positive that she'll settle down a bit with the jealousy. I mean, what better way there is to prove my devotion to her than to vow to be there for her for the rest of my life? She won't have a reason to be jealous of my friends or family anymore.
I guess you've put quite a bit of thought into this, Stan. Okay, if that's how strongly you feel about her, then I'll respect your decision. You're right, she'll probably loosen up a little bit after your wedding.
Thanks for understanding, Stacy. So yeah, in the meantime, I wouldn't take anything she says about cutting off contact with me too seriously. I'll have her apologize to you at an appropriate time in the future. Though she shouldn't have said that to you.
Alright, that's fine. You can take your time. I'm in no rush for an apology. You take good care of Kendra then, got it? And try to hold off on making any new friends for a while.
Oh, do I have to? Alright, guess the next time I'll see you will probably be at our wedding, huh? I can't wait for you to meet Kendra in person.
Kendra, what is wrong with you? You came up from behind me and punched me in the back of the head. Oh, you're awake. I'm glad to hear that. How are you feeling? Think I'm feeling? My head frickin' hurts. You punched me so hard that I passed out. They had to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. Oh my goodness, they took you to the hospital? Yeah, you knocked me unconscious. They want to do a CT scan to make sure I don't have any internal bleeding. But you can cut it with the pleasantries, Kendra. You put me in the hospital. Now explain yourself. I hadn't even been at the wedding for a half hour when suddenly I felt a sharp pain in the back of my head, and the next thing I know, I'm on the floor looking at the ceiling. Why did you do that to me? Don't you remember the last time we spoke? It was my deep-seated trauma. Oh, great, not this again. I walked into the room and saw a woman I'd never met talking to Stan, and all the memories of my pain and misery in high school came rushing back. I was sure that you were actually Stan's mistress and had come to break up the wedding. All the shame and rage and sorrow welled up inside me, and I started seeing red. My body started moving on autopilot. I grabbed the nearest heavy object and bashed you over the head with it. You don't seem like you regret anything at all. You haven't even said you're sorry. But I didn't do anything wrong. It was all a big misunderstanding. I would have never hit you if I knew you were Stan's sister. It was all my trauma's fault. You don't think you did anything wrong? You hit me so hard I lost consciousness. You're not going to evade responsibility for that just because of your supposed trauma. And what the hell? You saw a woman talking to Stan, and the first thing that came to your mind was Stan's having an affair with her? First of all, it is not supposed trauma, it is real trauma. I will not allow you to deny my lived experiences. Second, you knew about my deep-seated trauma and still you violated the boundaries that I set for you. How could you be so insensitive? I believe that I deserve an apology for your flagrant disregard for my emotional well-being and safety. This is completely insane. Insane? That's ableist language. Screw you. You could have actually killed me just now. What was it that you hit me with anyway? A rock or something? No, just an empty vase. Oh, excuse me, it was just an empty vase. You expect me to apologize for violating your psychotic boundaries, but you don't think you need to apologize for a literal assault? Not a chance. I am the one who deserves an apology here, not you. What? How dare you? I went through the emotional labor of confiding in you about my lived experiences and deep-seated trauma, and you're still victim-shaming me? Are you intentionally fitting as many psychobabble nonsense words into your sentences as grammatically possible? You knew it was traumatic for me to see Stan talking to other women. I clearly laid down my boundaries for you, and you violated them on what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Therefore, it is only right that you apologize to me and promise that you will never violate my boundaries again. I swear it's like your only source of vocabulary is the chapter on trauma of a psychology textbook written by a teacher's aide. How can you possibly be playing the victim right now? Because I am the victim. Wow. You know, Kendra, when you first texted me, I thought you were a complete psycho. But now, I don't think I went far enough. You are far worse than just a run-of-the-mill psycho. You need to be locked up in an institution. That is more than enough ableist language out of you, Stacy. There is no room in my life or Stan's life for such a bigoted person as you are. I am marrying your brother today, and you will never see him again.
I wouldn't be so sure of that if I were you.
Huh?
Kendra, do you honestly believe that you haven't done anything wrong? I've taken the liberty of reading the conversation that you and Stacy just had. And to be quite honest, that really is how you feel, then I'm not sure I can do this anymore. I'm sorry, Kendra, but this wedding is canceled.
What? Wait a minute. Stacy? Or... oh no. Stan, is that you?
Looks like you finally caught on. Didn't you notice that he disappeared from the wedding chapel the moment that Stacy got taken away in the ambulance? That's because I went to the hospital with her. The wedding is canceled and our relationship is over. I'm breaking up with you. So no, you will not be marrying me today, or any other day.
Stan, no, you can't do this to me. You said you were gonna marry me. You said you didn't want me to have to worry about losing you anymore. You said that I was the most important person in the world to you. So how could you cancel our wedding and break up with me? Was that all just a lie?
No, Kendra, I meant every single word I ever said to you. I proposed to you because I loved you. I accepted your past, your jealousy, your controlling nature, all of that. Because I thought I could help you heal the damage that your past has done to you. I thought if I could show you that you didn't need to worry about losing me, that you could overcome your trauma and start looking towards the future rather than the past. I believed that right up until this very morning. Not only have my dedicated displays of love to you not helped heal your trauma, it almost feels like you've gotten worse. Kendra, you assaulted my sister. You hit her in the back of the head with a vase.
But I thought she was your mistress. What did you expect me to do?
That's it right there. That's exactly my point. You trust me so little that you immediately assumed that I was cheating on you. I can't marry anyone who doesn't trust me.
Stan?
I've done everything you ever asked me to do, Kendra. I erased all my female friends from college from my phone for you. I never went to any party or gathering where other women were present. I loved you and wanted to spend my life with you, so I was willing to make sacrifices for you. And after all of that, you go and assault my sister?
But Stan, it was all a simple misunderstanding. I didn't mean to hit your sister.
So you admit that you generally thought I was cheating on you?
Yeah, but just for a second.
Even 1 second is too long, don't you get that? You have no idea how much it hurts to know that the woman I pledged my love to doesn't even trust me.
That's not true. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that, oh, you're such an amazing guy. You're handsome, funny, hardworking. I always felt that you were out of my league. I was terrified of losing you.
And so you bash my sister over the head with a vase? I don't know how I can make this any clearer to you, Kendra. You've gone too far. Your trauma has completely taken over you. So much so that you were willing to assault a person you didn't know within a few seconds of seeing them for the first time. I had no idea you were such a violent person.
I'm not a violent person. That's not fair. This is the first time I've ever done anything like this. Don't talk about me like I'm always going around and hitting random people wherever I go.
First time? Huh, that's a lie. You're not just controlling and violent. You're a liar too.
What are you talking about? I'm not lying.
When I got to the hospital with Stacy, I just so happened to see a friend of mine who I invited to the wedding. He told me he was walking downtown this morning when all of a sudden, someone came up from behind him and pushed him down the stairs. That was you, wasn't it?
Oh, don't be ridiculous. Why would I do a thing like that?
He also told me that he had been receiving a ton of texts from you lately. Multiple times a day, telling him to stay away from me. But right after he got taken to the hospital, the text stopped. He was so terrified that he hadn't even spoken to the police about it yet. He thought for sure you would either go after him again or take it out on me.
I can explain.
Don't bother. I don't want to hear it. Just like with Stacy, you're lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt, and that it doesn't appear that there'll be any lasting impacts to his health. Are you going to stand there and say you did all that for me? Even if that's true, I don't want any part of your psychosis. I mean it, Kendra, we're through.
Stan, please, can't we talk about this?
The only thing we're going to talk about from here on out is how you're going to be held responsible for what you did to Stacy and my friend.
What do you mean? What are you gonna do to me?
I'm going to make you pay. Simple as that. You've only ever been on my good side up until now, so you may not realize this. But while I pride myself in being generous and forgiving to my family and friends, I show absolutely no mercy to anyone else who crosses me.
Stan, do not do this. I'll apologize for everything, okay? I'll go to Stacy and your friend's hospital rooms and I'll tell them I'm sorry. So please don't break up with me. I'm sorry I let my trauma get the best of me. If you could just work with me a little longer, I'm sure I'll overcome it in no time.
Again with the trauma nonsense. Are you ever going to give that up? Anyway, I've already compromised more than I should here for your sake. I'm not doing it anymore. You can sort out your trauma issues on your own now.
Stacy, what am I gonna do? Stan says he's gonna break up with me. He hasn't been back to our apartment since yesterday, and he just sent his lawyer over with a demand that I move out within 24 hours. I don't want to break up with him. I don't want to move out. Please, Stacy, you have to help me. In case you've forgotten, I am currently in a hospital bed recovering from the injuries that I sustained when you assaulted me. I had to get 3 stitches in the back of my head, which may not seem like a lot, but they are really, really uncomfortable. That's in addition to the splitting headache I still have. So if you want help moving out, you're gonna have to ask someone else. That's not what I meant. I want you to talk to Stan and tell him not to break up with me. I love Stan. I need him. Well, he doesn't love or need you, so I don't know what you want me to do about it. You put 2 people in the hospital on the day of your wedding. Do you really think Stan would stay with you after that? And that's not even considering the fact that you've been cheating on him. What? He told you about that? He sure did. After you assaulted us yesterday, he went to find all the evidence he could of your harassment campaigns towards me and his friends. He found all the evidence he needed of that, but also a few other pieces of evidence. It seems like every time I think my opinion of you couldn't possibly get any lower, you go and prove me wrong. Stop victim shaming me! It's not my fault I had to cheat on him. Oh, for the love of God, Kendra, don't tell me this is because of your trauma, too. He never respected any of my boundaries. I told him not to see his friends anymore, and he told me that he was fine with that, but then what did I find out? He was still seeing them in secret at least once a month. He crushed my heart and ripped open the wounds left by that boy in high school. I lost control. I felt so violated and abused, I had no choice but to cause him some of the same trauma that he caused me. So every time he went out with me and his friends, I went out with another man. He did this to me. It's all his fault. That boy didn't cause you any trauma, Kendra. What you're actually feeling is shame. Stop victim shaming me. He was the victim, you idiot, not you. All he did was talk to his cousin, and you ruined his reputation because of it. Then, when you realized the truth, you were overcome with shame over the viciously evil thing you did to him. That's why you invented your trauma narrative. To shut out your feelings of shame over realizing that you're just an impulsive, jealous, vindictive, and stupid woman. No, you're wrong. It was his fault for not telling me that my best friend was his cousin, just like it's Stan's fault for not telling me you were his sister. It was Stan's friend's fault for not respecting the boundaries I set for him. That's another thing. You don't just get to use the word boundaries to make other people do whatever you want. Look, I understand that maybe I went a teensy bit overboard, but it's all because I love Stan so much. I don't want to lose him. So please, I am begging you, give me another chance. We can call your family and Stan's friends together and have a discussion on what new boundaries we can set for you guys. Boundaries that we all agree on. You still don't feel like you've done anything wrong, do you? I realize that some people who are less understanding of the trauma I've been through may view my actions as inappropriate. Yes. Yeah, that settles it. You don't think you've done anything wrong. You go through all these mental gymnastics to interpret what happens in a way that removes any responsibility from yourself. Well, I'd say it's high time someone forced you to take some responsibility. And it looks like that responsibility falls to me. You may not think that you've done anything wrong, but I'd bet a year's worth of my salary that a judge and jury will have a different view of things. What are you saying? Are you gonna sue me? Did Stan ever tell you what it was I do for a living? No. I'm a lawyer. Oh no. Oh yes. Do you have any idea how much money I'm losing every day I'm stuck here in this godforsaken hospital? You're going to compensate me for my lost wages and much, much more. I've also decided to take up Stan's friend's case against you as well, pro bono. Please don't do that, Stacy. I'm already on the hook for a ton of money from the canceled wedding. If you sue me on top of that, I'll be ruined. Yeah? And how is that my problem? You don't seem to be aware of what sort of position you're in right now. You have successfully driven away the only person in this entire world who would have had pity on you, so don't expect any from me. We'll talk more once I'm out of the hospital. I suggest you start figuring out how to come up with a lot of money very soon. The first thing I did after getting out of the hospital was putting together a police report for both myself and Stan's friend. She was granted a speedy trial and found guilty on all counts. My next order of business was suing her for the costs of the wedding, hospital bills, and lost wages, which added up to around $50,000 in total. She went to her parents and begged them for help, so they agreed to loan her what she needed. Paying that back, however, is not going to be easy for a woman with a criminal record like her. I hope she takes this opportunity to learn that her trauma card isn't going to get her very far in this world.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.